Since it is now 6 p.m., I will now call the Boquet Valley Central School District's February Board of Education meeting to order. Number 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Number 3, the district's vision. As a reminder to all of us of why we are here, the vision of the Boquet Valley Central School District is to become the best rural school in New York State. We will accomplish our vision by providing exceptional opportunities to all learners and preparing them to set and reach their future goals by embedding our core values into their student experience. Number 4, roll call. Mrs. Belzile, would you please take the roll call?
Tom Broderick.
Here.
Paige Cotter-Saltimont.
Here.
Paul Fenton.
Here.
Darlene Hooper.
Here.
Sarah Coleman.
Here.
Deborah Spalding.
Here.
Jason Welch. Sadie Burgess.
Here.
Okay, number 5, attendees. If you haven't done so already, would you please sign in so we have an accurate attendance record? The sign-in sheet is located on the table by the entrance. Thank you for your cooperation. Number 6, recognition of courage. Dr. Meyer, would you please do the honor of presenting this recognition?
Yes, thank you. As I look around, I'm not sure if any of our recipients are here, but we're going to read it anyway. Your bravery, quick thinking, and selfless actions in the face of adversity made a meaningful difference in the lives of others. Your courage and commitment to doing what is right, even in the most challenging circumstances, exemplified the highest ideals of our school community. With deep respect and gratitude, we recognize your heroic act and celebrate your extraordinary character. And our recipients today are Paul Bueller, Erica Lohr, Jay Fiegel, Kristen Larkin, Bella Salati, and Kylie Hance. So we will make sure they get these certificates.
Okay, well, congratulations to all for receiving this deserving recognition. And on behalf of the Board of Education, we thank you for your courage, your compassion, and your quick thinking in helping the student. We're very proud of you. Number 7, capital project update. Dr. Meyer, would you please provide us with an update?
Yes, so our architects are expecting our maximum cost allowance any day. We currently don't have it, but we're expecting any day. We've been back and forth with state ed probably 2 or 3 times this week alone, last week a couple times as well, where they just seek additional information and clarification. So it is on their desk and they're actively working on our project. We are expecting the maximum cost allowance very soon, and then that is when we can start talking actual numbers and costs and how it's going to affect the community. As an update, the EPC, the Energy Performance Contract, if you remember, that was approved in our last fiscal year by the Board of Education. But if we do vote on that, we will get an additional 10% of state aid. So that project it's energy performance. So the idea is to make the district more energy efficient. Things like LED lights, boiler enhancements, a variety of projects like that. So we plan to tag that on to our next vote. We're hoping that we can vote on all of these in May. If the capital project isn't ready by then, we still plan to tag the EPC vote on to that May budget vote. Again, that EPC has already been approved, happening anyway, but a yes vote from the community gets us an additional 10% of aid on that project. And then in addition to that, just as a reminder, what that project does look like, the capital project, the pink here, that's an addition to the first floor of the Mountain View campus, adding some additional classroom spaces off the back of the building, connecting this wing here over to the gym weight room area. And that's a little bit zoomed in for you, but No real changes to this since it was presented. That's what that project looks like. In addition to that, we are seeking the resolution, that I'll let you get to that, but it's our seeker resolutions and our resolution to adopt the negative declaration. So those two are required in order to keep this project moving forward.
Okay. Any questions for Dr. Meyer? Can everyone hear us okay? Okay. All right, any questions? Any board members have any questions? Okay, thank you, Dr. Meyer. Do I have a motion to adopt the resolutions in 7A and B?
There's separated, so A first and then D.
Oh, you have to do them separately? Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt the resolution in 7A?
I'll motion.
Okay, thank you, Paige. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution presented in 7A is passed. Now do I have a motion to adopt the resolution in 7B?
I'll motion.
Thank you, Deb.
Second.
Second, Tom, thank you. Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution presented in 7B is approved. Okay, moving right along. Number 8, board discussions, old business tax exemption proposals. Hayden, would you like to provide us a summary of the proposals?
Yeah, so I'm gonna preface this by I am not a property tax attorney. So when we do move down this road, there's gonna be a lot more steps involved. So I believe it was in the board packet, the various different veterans exemptions. It is my understanding that really the very first one that is listed on there is the main exemption. The rest are additions to that one exemption. So you have to do that main one, and then you can add different additional exemptions like combat veteran, disabled veteran, but you have to adopt a veterans exemption to adopt those other ones. With the veterans exemption, the typical amount is 15% property tax exemption to a maximum amount. And that is what the board would have to decide is what the maximum exemption is. So they could do 15% and say that calculates out to $5,000 exemption, but the district sets a $2,000 maximum, so then they're going to be exempt $2,000. Does that make sense? Because it took me about 3 days to wrap my head around that. So the state standard is that 15%, but we have to just set that maximum amount, like not to exceed X amount of money. I polled the other districts and I received 0 responses as to what they do. So I did look around the state to see what others have done. And what I found was the most common was a $12,000 maximum exemption is what I saw. And then different thresholds for those additional endorsements like combat veteran, disabled veteran.
Okay, any questions?
Do we have an idea of how much that would be?
There is really no way to do that because this just, once you adopt that, it's not a blanket, all of a sudden every veteran in the district gets this exemption. They have to apply for it and they go to the county, it gets factored in. So there's really no way for the county to know because the data doesn't exist.
And there's no data on how many would even qualify at this point. I mean,
Well, we did decide, excuse me.
It could be a gamble at that point. Like the data just doesn't exist. We'd be creating it essentially. There was one other district that does have this exemption, and they said when I spoke to them that it's minimal. Like they are not seeing a huge amount of people applying or qualifying for it.
I think we did decide before that we would put this up to a vote, correct?
Yeah.
That it wouldn't be just an automatic, the board deciding, but we would put it up to a vote for the people, the taxpayers, correct?
correct.
And I do believe this exemption would require a public hearing. A lot of times you can't just adopt property tax exemptions without a formal public hearing being held in the district.
Before we make a decision.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Even if we're just deciding that the public votes on it?
That's fine. It's just to actually, for me to submit to the county
Okay.
to, when I calculate taxes and everything,
Okay.
I would have to show that we did a public hearing on it and people were able to ask questions.
Okay.
Okay. So when should we let you know? When should we decide, make a decision whether we're going to put it up to a vote?
If you're looking to have this on next year's or this coming year's taxes, I would say March, we would have to have some decision
By next month?
made just to start that process.
Okay.
And give the public enough time to apply for these exemptions, because bills will be sent out the last week of August.
Right.
And if it's not on the bill, once I calculate taxes, they're locked in. So they would do that in advance.
And would we have to set the maximum amount before it goes out to vote?
Probably.
And who decides that?
Percentage.
The maximum is set by the board.
Okay.
Yeah, the taxing entity itself sets the maximum. So they do the 15%, that is what it is, but the maximum amount is set by the board.
Okay, any other questions for Hayden? Okay, new business, community updates. A, joint study, Mr. Broderick or Mrs. Cotter Saltamont, would you please provide us with an update?
Go ahead,
One of
Paige.
you?
Go ahead, Paige.
More conversation on Portrait of a Graduate and what that looks like, which is a multiple year conversation, because it ultimately will not start affecting the kids in the district until we get the fifth graders now into ninth grade. So that's a really big conversation the state is not giving us any guidance on, which is terrifying on a lot of ways, but we are ultimately seeing a lot of ways that the district already does these different steps that they want us to take. And it's just a conversation at this point, so.
Okay, thank you. Youth Commission update. Mrs. Cotter Saltamont, would you please provide us an update?
We're pretty much finishing up basketball season right now, just like Modified and Varsity are, and moving into baseball and softball season.
Okay, great, thank you.
I have a
Oh, question?
I'm not, under old business, I'd like to bring up, and I know it's been mentioned at other board meetings, about the exemption for the electric buses. I guess you need a motion for us or, to get
I
this thing
think we're
moving
gonna
and
get
forward.
into-
Is that what you need?
So electric buses is part of the agenda later on, as part of the superintendent report, where we'll have a discussion then.
Okay, so we don't need to vote on anything right now? Okay, I thought there was a vote needed, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Paige. Letter C, Policy Committee, Mrs. Spalding, Mr. Fenton, would you like to provide us with an update of your January 29th meeting?
No, I'll let you go ahead.
All right, so we actually kind of attacked a few. Some were Area 1 policy changes that we're going to be discussing later tonight. We discussed the voting language and policy 5410, changed it from 3/5 to 4/7. We discussed, I'm trying to look at my notes here. We did a replacement of superintendent's office where it said with district office, just to be a little bit more careful and Josh, can you think of any
Now,
others on this
credit
one?
cards. We changed that for the credit cards.
Yeah, so that they would, in case they weren't in the office, they could find, by doing district, it could be Bridget's or Josh's office.
Okay. Any questions? All right, moving right along to number 9, public comment. Our agenda offers 2 public comment sections. Opinions, ideas, and concerns that are offered by the public will be considered and taken under advisement. We have set aside a 15-minute period giving the audience time to share their thoughts with us. Please raise your hand to be acknowledged by the board president. When called upon, please identify yourself and give your address, limiting your comments to 3 minutes. Do we have anyone who would like to have a comment? Give a comment. No? No takers? Okay, then we'll move right along to number 10, executive session. Specifically, the board anticipates entering into executive session for the following reasons. A, number 6, to discuss the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or persons. B, number 8, to discuss the proposed acquisition, sale, or lease of real property or proposed acquisition, sale, or exchange of securities, but only when publicity would substantially affect the value of these things. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session to discuss items 10A and B?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Tom. Second. Thank you, Paul. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We anticipate being back in approximately
Like an hour.
an hour at the most, but hopefully sooner. Okay? Thank you. Hopefully we will be back sooner than 1 hour.
Did they move these closer? What happened? Okay.
Picking up every bump on the table.
Okay,
So I had to turn it down to move the mic closer.
okay. I was like, wait,
Yeah, that was me.
somebody's pranking with me.
To another day or?
No talking to him.
Okay, yep, okay.
Trying to keep close.
I gladly. Are you okay?
You got right up for it.
Yeah, next meeting.
This, I have got a story about this.
Sarah?
Not bad one, well, it is bad, but it's bad for the kid. Not the district. She's not doing it, but she was like, oh, I would try it. I was like. But do you understand?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, do I have a motion to reconvene the regular session of our meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Tom. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Paige. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion to reconvene regular session has been approved. Okay, apologize for the lengthy executive session, but it was necessary. Number 11, ex officio student school board member report. It's always a pleasure to have our student representative, Sadie Burgess, provide us a report on behalf of the student body. So Sadie, the floor is yours.
Thank you. First, we had Harvard Model UN, 8 students represented BVCS in Boston last month. It sounds like they had a very educational experience. They learned a lot. And then next month, we have North Country Model UN, and I think Model UN is presenting at the board next month. So I think they have more information then. And then All County was this week. 5 high school students went, and it's basically an all-day experience where you play prepared music, and then there's a concert at the end of the day. I didn't go this year, but I've gone in the past, and it's such an amazing experience. There's so many people, and it's amazing to play with other musicians. And then upcoming, we have the Magic Show fundraiser on February 28th at 1 p.m., which supports the 6th graders Boston Field Trip Fund. And then there's been ski trips to Whiteface. I think there've been 2. And there's a lot of participation, and people really look forward to those. And then it's not up there, but the rummage sale is coming up. Benefits to junior and senior classes, March 26th to 28th. We're looking for donations. Community drop-off is March 20th through 26th. So we appreciate any donations. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Sadie, okay, for your time and effort to provide us with another very interesting report on the student events.
Can I ask her a question?
Yes, sure.
Sadie, quick question. Where will the magic show be?
Lakeview.
At Lakeview?
Lakeview.
Yeah.
In the 28th at 1?
Yes.
That sounds like fun.
Okay, great.
Alex is
Okay,
pretty great.
thank you again for your time and
Of
effort for
course she
putting
is.
that
She's got
together.
sixth
It makes us all very proud, and makes our job seem worthwhile when we hear all the exciting things that are happening. So thank you again. Okay, number 12, approval of agenda and minutes. A, approval of the adoption of the agenda, and B, approve the minutes of January 8th, 2026, regular meeting as presented. Do I have a motion to approve 12A and B?
A motion?
Thank you, Deb. Second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Any discussion? All in favor?
But I think that we can get rid of 22, is that correct?
Excuse me?
I believe that we can get rid of 22, item 22.
The elimination of item number 22, executive session.
Okay. All right. So can I make a motion to approve? How should I say? Let's see.
Do we motion to remove it and then
Yeah,
approve
can we
it?
make a motion to approve 22?
No, I'm gonna motion to remove
To
22
remove
from the
22
agenda.
from the agenda for A.
I'm gonna motion.
Okay, Paige, thank you. Second?
Second.
Paul, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion is approved. All right, on to number 13, financials.
Now we need to vote to actually approve the agenda, right? Because we took something off.
We should redo, yes.
We do that? Okay. All right, do I have a motion to approve
Sorry.
the
The
agenda in 12A? Motion? Paul, thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Paige, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstentions? Okay, motion to carry and approve the agenda is carried. Okay, number 13, financials. Do I have a motion to approve item 13A, 1 through 5? Motion?
I'll move.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Paige. Any discussion on any of these items? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion 13A, 1 through 5 has been approved. Number 14, CSE, CPSE, and 504 recommendations. A, accept and approve the Committee on Preschool Special Education, Committee on Special Education, and Committee on 504 Plan recommendations as presented. Do I have a motion to accept the CSE, CPSE, and 504 recommendations presented in 14A?
Make motion.
Paul, thank you. Second?
I second.
Thank you, Paige. Any discussion on these? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion 14A is approved. Number 15, action items, consent agenda. Let's see here. Do I have a motion to approve actions items 15A through C?
I'll motion.
Okay, thank you, Paige. Second?
I'll second.
And any discussion?
I have a, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just wondering, do we have any idea of how many girls, maybe Sadie, you would know, are going to be trying out for the flag football?
I don't know the exact number, but I know it's a lot, 14
Oh, wow.
Wow.
more.
Yeah, so there's definitely some interest there. My understanding is that Keene's numbers are down a little bit. I also, as I understand it from our athletic coordinator, that we typically, based on the number of students that sign up for our sports, we usually have a few that don't end up participating. So there was some concern about that being the first year of the program, and thought that a merger made the most sense for this year. However, I have said sort of as a caveat that, if the first day rolls around and there's just a ton of students, then we will try to come up with something that works and makes sense for everybody.
Okay.
What grade?
Sadie, since you're the one who initially brought this up, do you have anything that you'd like to comment?
11 and 12.
Student council's only concern was transportation, because it doesn't sound like there'll be a bus, but other than that, everyone's pretty excited about it.
Okay. And transportation.
Will that
is
leave us enough for a softball team?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
There is no softball team this year.
There's no
There isn't?
softball?
No. Because everyone wanted to do flag football.
Gotcha.
But they were able to do both, right? We did
Yep.
discuss that.
If
Yeah.
you go over.
Yeah. No, you could do both.
Oh, yeah.
So there won't be a softball?
I do not believe I don't believe that there's anyone signed up for varsity softball, that's my understanding.
Okay.
I have one other question. I don't know if we can answer this today, but how many IEEs have we approved this year?
I think 3 or 4.
4, I
This
think.
is 4.
4. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion to approve item 15A through C is approved. Personnel, okay, we have personnel consent agenda A through 6 with the addition of the amendum 16H1. Do I have a motion to approve item 16A through 6 plus the addendum 16H1?
I'll motion.
Thank you, Paige. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Is there any discussion on any of these? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Any abstentions? Items in 16A through G plus the addendum H1 are accepted. Okay, on to policy number 17. As recommended by the Boquet Valley Central School Policy Committee, the approved the revision of policies 1 through 3. Should we do these separate, Bridget, or together? Okay, we can do them together. All right, and B, as recommended by Erie 1 Policy Services, approved the revision of policies 1 through 4. Do I have a motion to approve items 17A through B4?
A motion?
Thank you, Deb. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Paul. Is there any discussion on any of these items before we vote? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Items in 17A through B4 are accepted. Okay, number 18, Administrator Director Report. We have Lakeview Principal Lee Kyler here tonight. Mr. Kyler, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Dr. Meyer, I think I have one slide. So this is just a picture of our kindergartners, as tomorrow is our 100th day of school at Lakeview campus. We celebrate today because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, a half day. So I have a one-pager sheet that's in front of you all. A couple of things I wanted to highlight is we have some outside partnerships that are worth recognizing. Each of these organizations are in the campus 1 day per week. So we have the prevention team, Families First, and Essex County Mental Health, all in one dedicated worker in the building once per week, and they all happen to be social workers, so they are able to provide counseling services for our students, and operate in sort of a satellite campus fashion, which helps families with, transportation and filling out paperwork and things like that. It's a really great service that is mimicked here at the Mountain View campus also. Cornell Cooperative Extension, we have a really good partnership for agriculture in the classroom, which is done at the elementary grades. And they're also sponsoring one of our cooks from the kitchen to go to the New York State Farm to School Summit later this month in Saratoga Springs. The Four Winds Nature Institute is going extremely well in grades pre-K through 5th. It's entirely volunteer run and also entirely paid for by Shazy Westport Communications. And I don't have enough good things to say about how well that program is going. And lastly on this page, we participate in the Arts and Education program through CVES BOCES. Each month, a different person, speaker group comes into the Lakeview campus to do an assembly. This month, just last week, was someone called Story Crafters that read stories. We've had a BMX biker, we've had musicians, and it's a great program that we continue to participate in. On the next page, the back page for you all, I'm gonna start at the bottom. We've recently applied for some grants, which are worth noting. The Connect Kids to Parks grant, which is really just a formality. They tend to award it if you apply. It reimburses the district for expenses to a New York State park. Last year, we went to Point Roche State Park. This year, kindergarten and first grade is going to Heart Lake. We just completed an application to the Adirondack Foundation Generous Acts Fund for $20,000. That has two components. It's half is to expand our farm to school opportunities at the Lakeview campus, and the other half is to continue and expand the Four Winds nature program for pre-K through fifth grade. And we will shortly reapply for the grant from Silvamo for the backpack food program. Going back up to the top, the Spring Break Reading Challenge is going to take place for students pre-K through sixth grade. If you read 6 hours over spring break, you get a free ticket to what I call the happiest place on earth. So that'll be going home with students after winter break. At our assembly last week, we had 2 forest rangers, one who might be here tonight, speak to all of our students about ice and cold water safety. So we were really lucky to have them come in and do that. And they participated in Chuck a Duck too. Anything you want to say about that, Sarah?
I missed.
That's all right. We've instituted, based on some feedback that I received from families, we've instituted a 1 day a month family breakfast. So families can come in and have breakfast with their students in the Lakeview campus cafeteria. We have some upcoming presentations to meet the compliance requirement for Aaron's Law. As Paige mentioned, we continue to talk about Portrait of a Graduate at the Lakeview campus, and we feel really confident that we are doing a lot of it already, but agree that there's a lot of work to be done. And last night was our K through 2 concert that Miss Muriel led, and the students did a wonderful job, but I think it's worth noting that it was Miss Muriel's final concert for the younger grades. She's been a teacher for 32 plus years. She jokes that she came to Westport for her interview, and while waiting, thought she would go to McDonald's, and landed in Westport and found her husband and started a family. She is a phenomenal educator. It's worth noting that she will be missed. She has one more concert in the spring for grades 3 through 5. And my major announcement that the Lakeview teachers are all excited about, so the next slide. Yeah, so today we were talking about restocking our vending machine, and the secretary said, boy, we should find stuff that's in those claw machines. And I said, how about we just buy a claw machine? So today, Dr. Meyer, this is a surprise to you. We purchased a claw machine. So if students save up their Griffin grams, they can earn a token to play the claw machine. So students don't know this yet, but this is going to be installed over winter break. And this is going to, instead of 1 token for a Griffin gram, students can save 4 or 5 and play on the claw machine. We'll put some prizes in there as well. So that's really exciting. PBIS continues to be a big focus at the Lakeview campus. So that's all I had, unless there's any questions.
Okay.
I just want to make a comment about the concert last night.
Yeah.
If anyone missed it, you missed a really good concert.
Yeah, it's great.
I was really impressed with the first graders. I had a first and a second grader if they're singing. First grade sang and signed a song.
Yeah.
And the amount of time that it took for those little kiddos to learn it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed, but my grandson kept, in between each verse, he put his hands in his pocket, then he'd bring them right back out to sign. But I was really impressed. That was a lot of time, and she did an amazing job.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, thank you for saying that.
Thank you, Mr. Kyler, very much. And congratulations to Mrs. Merrow on one of her last concerts.
She put 100% into
She's
it.
a
and
phenomenal teacher, and she's going to be certainly missed. Okay, moving right along. Number 19, superintendent's update. Superintendent's report. Go ahead, Dr. Myers.
As always, because our principals are here, if either of you would like to weigh in on the grants, please go ahead.
The only update is title final allocations just came out, and the final allocations, Hayden, you can correct me, are very close to the initial allocation. So we do have to do some amendments, but those are formalities. And UPK amendment will be done after Fed's Day in March. So again, it continues to be sort of a slow time for grants.
Yeah, and ESD, our amendments due in April, so if we have to change any of the funding, we'll do that. And there is here till there may be an RFP put out for a new one by the end of this month, so we've seen nothing so far. Because our grant cycle ends June 30th, our 5 years is up.
Great, thank you. Okay, we did receive two score reports we're going to talk about. So our fiscal stress score, we get that every year around this time of year. You can see the last 3 years, 22, 23, and 24. Our fiscal stress score was 3.3. It's worth noting, you'll see on the next page, but this is out of 100 points. So 3.3 is very low. So 2025, our fiscal stress score was 0.0, meaning that we have no fiscal stress. The only change since 2022 is that our cash position has strengthened in the form of stronger reserves. Okay, I'm going to flip to the next page and walk you through how that score works. I thought my slides were reversed here, but if you look down here at the bottom, I'll get to the environmental stress in just a second. But if you look down at the bottom here, so if you're 0 to 29.9, there's no designation. 30 to 44.9 susceptible. 45 to 59.9 is moderate, and then 60 to 100 is significant. So just to go back real quick, so we're literally at 0, and even in previous years at 3.3. So it would be well in that no designation. Then we get to environmental stress scores, and we have a couple factors that keep us on this list. So we are economically disadvantaged, and that number's been pretty consistent. You see 57%, 58%, so right around the mid to high 50s. We are an economically disadvantaged district. However, in the eyes of the state, we are considered a wealthy district. Okay, I want everyone to understand that the state considers us to be a wealthy district, even though we are looking at 58% of the economically disadvantaged population.
Can I say something?
Yep.
Because the cities are poorer and have more children. That's the long and short of it.
Our teacher turnover is another area where we've actually made some ground here. During for the last few years, really since COVID, there's been such a demand for teachers, just really in any district, that teachers have been able to move pretty freely. So we have seen increased turnover in the last few years, but you can see that number going from 23% to 21% down to 17%, which reduces our points from 15 points down to 10 points. So we are trending in the right direction there. And then the other area where we did get points was in our budget support. Again, going back a couple of years, 61%, then down to 58%, then down to 57%. Even though the teacher turnover dropped and the budget support also dropped, those counteracted one another, leaving us at 33.3%. So we are in that susceptible environmental stress. We stay in there, that's where we've been. We are down overall from last year at 38.3 and to 33.3, so heading in the right direction. We're at the low end of susceptible, but that is where we are. Our bus fleet report. So this is the month where we talk about our bus fleet report. And Mr. Rice is here, so I'm going to ask him if he wants to weigh in on this. Just give a quick overview on what we're looking at here.
Quick overview, we replaced 2 buses last year. And 2 board meetings ago, we voted to take the old buses out of service. We added 1 more bus to take out of service because it would not pass the DOT inspection for that event cross member in the frame. And that was due to the bus getting stuck in the fairgrounds and getting pulled out by the town loader. It was due to get removed anyways, so we just sped the timeline up. So instead of removing it in June, we removed it now. We have a new short bus in the budget for this year. And none of these buses are electric yet. We're still trying to avoid our electric. I don't know if you have any questions about individual buses. Some of them aren't buses, but like number 10 where it says Chevy Traverse, it's a Chevy Traverse, but it's DOT'd as a bus so we can carry kids in it.
Thank
We're doing
you.
pretty decent.
Also, at our February meeting, we talk about our instructional program report. So if you take a look, I tried to sort of color code these into different categories. And if you look at our pre-K and K through 6, that's where we have 15 teachers there. That is one pre-K teacher, and our K through 6, that's 2 per grade level. So I put the number, you see general ed 15, and then in parentheses, that's the percentage of our teaching staff. So that's 25% of our teaching staff. Then if you look at in that red box, the ELA, math, social studies, science, and language. So we are 3 in each of those departments. The first 3, ELA, math, and social studies. Those went from 4 to 3 through attrition. Since we merged, as was discussed. Science still remains at 4, and our foreign language is at 2. And again, that's 15 total teachers there, making up 25% of our overall teaching staff. And we do our special areas, the things like art, music, PE, health, business, tech, and library. You can see what we have there. And that makes up about 17% of our instructional staff. Our special education, AIS, and speech. So this is an area where we have brought programs back from the BOCES at a cost savings to us. So it is absolutely an increase in teaching load, but as a cost savings measure for the district. And that also has 15 teachers there for 25%. And the last box, this is our student support services here, where we have our counselors, social workers, and school psychologists here. And we have a total of 5, making up about 8% of our total instructional program. So that's pretty much how we're laid out there. And that brings us to our electric bus discussion. So a couple things I have for you. And a couple of reminders. So as it stands, the 2027-2028 school year, we are no longer permitted to purchase diesel buses. In the 2035-2036 school year, we need to have our full fleet converted over to electric buses. Generally speaking, our diesel bus cost is about $180,000 to $200,000. An electric bus cost is in the neighborhood of $400,000 plus voter approval. I bring that up because it's a little bit small up there, but in the bottom corner, you see that Spencerport, they had the funding set for these buses, and their community voted it down. So you still need community support for the electric buses. This has happened across the state, where the community has not supported the transition to electric buses, which puts the district in a peculiar spot. So our district is, we absolutely have some infrastructure needs, right? We right now, if we were gifted an electric bus tomorrow, we would have nothing to do with it. We wouldn't be able to charge it. There's a lot of infrastructure needs that we have for that. So what I'm looking for from the board, and I want to talk about, is to do an infrastructure study and a transportation study. Some districts have done these as 2 separate studies, or sometimes you can find someone that will do it kind of collectively as 1 study. So that's the first thing I'd like to discuss. And then the second thing, we do have an opportunity for a waiver to push back the 2027, 2028 deadline. So this wouldn't, as far as it stands right now, wouldn't affect the 2035 deadline, but you could push back the 2027, 2028 deadline by 2 years. You can apply for that either now, this year in 2026, or wait until 2027. based on what we're being told, and even there was a district locally who submitted now, and state ed sent it back and said, we think you're better off waiting till 2027. So because of that, the local districts are all waiting till 2027. That being said, so those are my two proposals, is that basically that we RFP for both studies, whether we do it together or separate, and that we wait till 2027 to do the paperwork for the waiver. But open it up for discussion.
If we do the waiver and we're approved, does that mean we can buy a diesel bus in 27?
I
To
believe-
8?
Yeah, but then
Okay.
we can buy buses for the next two. It's a
Okay.
2-year waiver.
27, 8 to 9, okay.
Yes.
We have the infrastructure.
But no, if
We
we
don't
do
think
the
it would be
waiver, then
better
we
to-
would push back the electric buses by 2 years and we could buy another diesel or however many diesel buses, but we would still have the 35 deadline.
So what is the rationale for waiting till 2027 to apply?
So it sounds, again, just being that one of our local districts who applied, state ed pushed it back and said, you're better off waiting. If we understand the language in the waiver, if you were to get it approved now, your 2 years starts now.
Oh,
So effectively making it a 1-year waiver, not a 2-year waiver.
So my question is, it says, no diesel bus purchases after. But Bob, we don't have, I don't think we have any more diesel, do we? 84 was our last one?
There were diesel and gas or.
Yeah.
Okay, that means the same thing, all right.
Yes.
I was kind of hoping that little book.
Yeah, sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
I tried to simplify, that sentence was already long as it was. So it's gonna run into the circle there. I apologize.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I should
So
have figured they would include gas.
what would the study entail
Yeah.
and who would we?
Great question. So there's a lot of things we do not know about electric buses. For example, electric buses are not necessarily 1-for-1, meaning that, let's say that we were operating like 8 buses regularly. That doesn't mean that we need 8 electric buses. It could mean that we need more than that. For example, we do our morning bus runs and those buses turn right around and might make a trip to Plattsburgh or to Mineville or somewhere else. Some of the electric buses may not have the capacity to actually do that, meaning that they might need a midday charge. They might need, might need something. So we might need more buses than that. Also, if you remember what I talked about last time, that mountainous terrain, cold weather, and there's a third factor that of
it's
course,
something about area.
yeah, like
Square
large
miles or
geographic
whatever,
area, something like that, which is exactly how you would describe our district. Those are problems for electric buses. So we basically need someone to do a study to tell us how many buses we need. Also, as it stands, mileage on electric buses is self-reported by electric bus companies. And there is some concern about the accuracy of that information. So that is being updated as districts are now using the buses and kind of generating their own data. So we need to know basically how many buses we need and to see if there's a way to redesign our routes based on those buses. And the second thing that we need from an infrastructure perspective is how much power do we need to charge these buses? How many chargers do we need? Is there a way to share chargers? For example, if we have 10 buses, do we need 10 chargers? Could we get away with fewer chargers than that? We're also in an interesting situation here, having NYSEG and National Grid. So where other districts are kind of locked into one company, we could explore both companies and see if there is a significant benefit to do one over the other.
Is there any other consideration to other options? Solar or something else?
So I would think that all of that could be addressed in the study.
Just saying.
Yeah, but I know Mariah, for example, they have electric buses, I believe they're 2? Question mark?
I
Sorry.
I think it's 2 and they've got their
2.
third coming.
Yeah, however, they have concerns about having enough power to charge the third.
NYSEG
Yep.
has that
Yeah,
concern.
yes, yeah, the power, yeah,
The
NYSEG,
power
not
company.
not, I think they might be National Grid, in any case.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure which one.
in any case, it's the power company, not the school district.
Yeah.
Has concern about actually charging the buses. So for all of those reasons, I think that we need to have a study done. Again, it could be one study or two separate studies. But this is something that is happening with other districts right now, where they're looking at these studies just so they know what they're getting into.
Would these be BOCES funded, perhaps, the studies?
The studies, I know that some of the infrastructure studies can happen through NYSERDA. I think that is a way to reduce the cost, doing it that way, but I will, if the board is amenable, I can take a look at what other districts are doing. We can RFP for it, and we can see what the best options are.
Well, I mean, they're all in the same boat as we are in, the other districts, so maybe BOCES could do something for all of us.
Yeah, so I do think that they have, I think that some of the consultants are aligned with some of the BOCES, so I think that we can get some BOCES aid on some of the studies regardless of who we choose, but I think an RFP is the way to go, right? Then we can see what we're looking at. Anyone opposed to that? I don't think we don't need like an official vote or anything, but
No.
just, yeah.
No, we have to get it done.
I think that's a
Okay.
good-
We can't be informed if we don't know.
The waiver will be done next year, 27th.
Yep.
And I think, yeah, that's it.
And hopefully, NICEAD changes their recommendations.
Right, the last one.
We can't put up students because
Yeah.
they that.
Okay.
Okay, I just had one question. I just wanted to confirm that Dr. Rick Timms will be attending one of our budget meetings in the future to present information from his long-range financial analysis for Boquet Valley. And that was presented to the board. I think it would be very valuable for the public and the staff to hear that information. So I just wanted a confirmation that that was going to happen, Dr. Meyer.
I can certainly reach out.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Meyer. Number 20, public comment. Our agenda offers 2 public comment sessions. Opinions and ideas and concerns that are offered by the public will be considered and taken under advisement. We have set aside a 15-minute period, giving the audience time to share their thoughts with us. Please raise your hand to be acknowledged by the board president. When called upon, please identify yourself and give your address, limiting your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to comment?
Yeah.
Anyone? Okay, looks like we're all set. Number 21, next meeting. A, budget meeting Thursday, February 26, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Mountain View campus. And B, the next regular board meeting will be on March 12, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Lakeview campus. 22 is out of the picture, so do I have a motion? Let's see, hold on. Adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Sure do.
Okay, Tom,
Second.
thank you. Second, Paige?
Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Abstentions? Motion to adjourn accepted
Yeah.
at 8:06 p.m. That's the earliest, yeah, we've got down here, yeah.